My mother was Puerto Rican and Cuban, father African American. And so I was born Muslim myself and my brothers. When I was 3 years old, my parents got murdered in front of me. So my grandparents, which is the parents of my father, they brought us into their household and they started raising us as Christians from that. I didn't really have no understanding of Islam other than, the people that killed my parents was affiliated to Islam. So I grew up having hatred towards Muslims and Islam, thinking that they murdered my parents out of my ignorance. So I used to say I would never be a Muslim. I hate all Muslims. I hate Islam. And I grew up in church, and then I realized at a young age, maybe 12, 11 years old or 13 years old, that I don't even accept Christianity any longer. I just believe in God. In LA, I was actually in a recording studio, and I was intoxicated out of my mind, and I got into a fight with my little brother. And it happened to be a Muslim brother named Mutah Beale. He's from Los Angeles. And he kind of broke the fight up, and we exchanged some words, and he started, explaining to me, like, you did this to your little brother, that's the blood of your parents, and things like that. And we exchanged phone numbers. And he invited me to the mosque. I went up there with 20 friends. I had a loaded gun on me. As I mentioned, I didn't know my ignorance, And when I walked into the mosque, I was able to see, African and black brothers, white brothers, Arabs, everybody getting along. At this particular time of my life, I was very depressed. I was an alcoholic. A very depressed alcoholic, and very unhappy. Even though I was successful, I had houses, here in Valencia, for example. I had a gated community, $1 million homes, but I was the most unhappy I ever been in my life. So when it's time for prayer, the only thing I wanted was happiness. So when I put my face down to the floor, I asked God to guide me to a way of life that would bring me happiness. And when it was over, he gave me literature of Islam, and I drove from LA all the way back here to Valencia, and I went to my house and I just started reading. And I started reading about, the names of prophets that my grandmother used to teach me about, Jacob and Abraham and Isaac. When it got to the Prophet Muhammad as the final messenger and prophet, and the message that he came with, it was clear to me. And I said to myself, the reason why I'm unhappy and depressed is because I'm not living my life according to what God created me for. And I called him up and said, I'm ready to become Muslim, and I became Muslim 18 years ago. Alhamdulillah. My name is Mutah Beale, formerly known as Napoleon. From the Outlaws, which was a rap group put together by Tupac Shakur. Alhamdulillah, I've been Muslim now for 18 years and walked away from the music industry and became somewhat of an entrepreneur, a business owner. Have a coffee shop, 2 coffee shops, Saudi Arabia. And also I have a smoked brisket restaurant in Saudi Arabia. And other than that, man, chilling, trying to raise my kids.